Hi guys, welcome back. Welcome back to my channel, Elevate with Ellecia, where I do talk to you about everything personal and career success the biblical way. And if you're brand new to my channel, guys, this is the place where you come to when you want to hear about personal development, career development, spiritual development. And, in this season, we have to be intentional about becoming a whole person, a person of value, and just consistently grow so that that purpose can be manifested, that God-given purpose. And so just a little bit about me. I am an award-winning author and entrepreneur, and I do sales and customer service training and development. And in this video, guys, I'm very excited about it because it is a relevant topic. It is so relevant. I want us to talk today about minding your own business. How important is it to mind your own business? What does it mean to mind your own business? And how do we really do that? You see, guys, in this season, right, there are so many things that society dictates for us to do. And many a times we focus on those things without even realizing that we're doing it. And so in this video, guys, I want to talk about 4 ways to mind your own business, or just, if you want to call it, mastering the art of minding your business. And it's a relevant topic to talk about, guys, because we don't want to be distracted, right? This channel is about personal development. It is about how we're able to keep ourselves focused, to maintain momentum, to maintain engagement, as we navigate life so that, we can really, at the end of the day, manifest that God-given purpose, that thing that you were sent here to do, right? And so, guys, the first thing that I want to say as it relates to really just minding your own business, our first point, is all about self-ownership, right? So you're taking full responsibility for your own life. Guys, I'm going to say that again. It's about taking full responsibility and accountability of your own life. You can see in the background there that I have my books up. And in my first book, guys, it's called 2 Kingdom Keys to Success, Mind Elevation and Spiritual Alertness. In that first book, guys, I talk about the blame game and the victim game, which we all fall prey to, right? Because it is something that we do a lot without even realizing it. Like in the book, I talk about how we take responsibility and accountability for the things that go right. Yeah. And at the end of the day, when something doesn't go right, or, we probably fail at something, or, something that somebody had given us their opinion on, all of a sudden, it's no longer you taking responsibility, right? It's about, oh, it's your fault. And so we fall prey to that victim and that blame game, and we put ourselves in that category because it makes us feel better. Oh, it's just not my fault. It's all your fault. It's your mother's fault. It's your husband or your wife's fault. It's the children's fault. It's the boss fault. It's your best friend. Like, it's everybody else's fault except yours. And minding your own business is about taking that ownership. It's about taking that responsibility and the accountability for the decisions that you make. It's about taking the responsibility for the actions that you take, and bearing in mind, as a responsible individual that you remains accountable to self, you know that there are consequences for those decisions that you make. You're not seeking the validation of others. And so there is a video that I watched some time ago, and it spoke about how important it is for you to have those persons in your circle that you will seek advice from. Why? Because, whenever you're about to do something and you may look at it a certain way, you may think about it from the perspective of, you may have a particular perspective of the thing. And when you include the opinion of others, you'd be like, I didn't see it that way. And so getting the perspective and the opinion of others can help you to make your decision. But at the end of the day, guys, it cannot be a case where you made a decision because of what somebody else suggested. So though you are welcoming the opinion of others, you have to bear the decision on your own. Like, you have to make the decision on your own and understand that this decision that I am making, I am ready to bear the consequences of it, whether it be a good consequence or a bad consequence. And so minding your own business, guys, is about just being responsible, being a responsible individual, and acknowledging that whatever happens in my life is as a result of the decisions that I've made, and I am living in them right now. Like where you are right now, guys, it's as a result of the decisions that you make some time ago. Like where you are now, you made a decision to be in that place where you are now, whether it be 5 years ago, 10 years ago, no matter how long ago it is. And, you know, I really love the topic of minding your own business because, you know, sometimes whenever life happens, it's very easy for us to look at what others are doing, what others are saying, you know, and what society dictates. And when you're able to focus on self, and focus on staying in your own lane, which is point number 2, right? So another way, this is point number 2 as it relates to minding your own business, you have to focus on your own lane. So you have to concentrate on your goals. You have to concentrate on your aspiration and your responsibilities, and just avoid comparing yourself to what others are doing. It's very easy to do that. It's very easy to fixate our eyes on what others are doing and what society would have dictated. And, you know, we become distracted by that. It's very easy for us to become distracted by that. And so, you know, you have to focus on what God told you to do. So everything in life is interrelated. Like we all have similar purposes, and we all have similar things that God would have called us to do. But at the end of the day, there's a unique journey that you have to take. There's a unique thing that God wants you to do. One of the things that I've always said is that there is somebody out there who is going to be lost unless you open your mouth. There's somebody out there who is not going to be saved and receive salvation if you don't open your mouth. There is a word that is inside of your belly. There is a message that you have. There is something that you carry. There's a light that you have that you can use to shine, to be of blessing to somebody else. You would have heard a message, right? That probably a TD Jakes preach, or, you know, some other famous pastor out there would have preached, right? And you hear something that I would have said, and all of a sudden there's a click, all of a sudden there's a wow moment. So there is something that is inside of you that somebody else is waiting on so that they can also manifest their purpose. And this is how I think, right? And there is always a sense of urgency for me to stay in my own lane and to concentrate on what God has told me to do. Because what you are told to do, you are going to execute it in a way, once you're obedient, that God has told you to do it, so that you can create influence and impact. So that's point number 2, guys. And point number 3 is that you'd have to tend your own garden. Remember, we're talking about minding our own business, right? And so tending your own garden means that you are remaining in a space of presence. Like you are remaining genuinely present to your own life circumstances. You are remaining genuinely present to the moment, right? So you are nurturing your mind, body, and spirit. Let's think about the whole matter, right? Of you having a garden, or you have flowers outside. One of the things that you have to do in the morning is that you wake up and you water it. And you, if there are dead leaves there, you're going to pick it off. If there are weeds that are growing in it, you're going to go there and you're going to pluck up those weeds. And it's the same thing with our mind, body, and spirit. There are things that will influence mind, body, and spirit. There are negative situations that will come into mind, body, and spirit. And so self-care becomes very important when it comes on to minding your own business. And self-care is something that I wrote about in my 3rd book. The definition is different for everybody. And so my definition of self-care may be, you know, paying attention to ensuring that I go to bed and rest well at night. It may be that I eat proper food and vegetable and taking a trip whenever I feel stressed. It may be totally different for somebody else. And so being present to what your self-care needs are and not what society would have said it should be becomes very, very important. So tending your own garden is another way of minding your own business. And all of these guys, as I go into point 4 to wrap up this video, is that all of these things that I'm talking about is going to aid in the manifestation of your purpose. It's going to aid in the manifestation of that goal that you have. Like, if you're not doing these things, guys, there is going to be an impact and an influence on your ability and your capacity to manifest that purpose that God has called you to do and to be, right? Because if you don't, you're going to be focusing on everything else that is around you. I call them decoy wars, right? So you have this steadfast goal in front of you. You have your purpose in front of you. And there goes the enemy creating fire over here, fire over there, fire above and below, right? In order for you to become distracted from the steadfast goal that your eyes should be on. And so one of the constant prayer that I pray is for the Lord to allow me to fixate my eyes upon him 24/7, right? And though the distraction may come and the decoy wars may come, you are not going to shift focus. So I'm talking to you and I'm looking in this video, right? This is the focus, right? The decoy war may be over here. And all of a sudden I've shifted my eyes from the focus, the purpose, and I am over here at a place that I should not be. It's called misalignment, guys. It's called being out of position. It's called being at the wrong place at the wrong time. So let us not focus on those decoy wars. Let us not focus on the distractions of life. Let us remain minding our own business. Then the last point, and there's another point when it comes down to nurturing your garden. So it really is 2 categories. It's about self-care and it's also about personal development and self-improvement, guys. Like, when was the last time you did a course? When was the last time you really did something to develop yourself as a person? And so becoming a person of value also speaks to becoming a person of value also speaks to your capacity to grow. And many of the times we get demotivated and we lose that vim, vigor, and vitality, so to speak, is because we have not been focusing on self so that we can grow in value and become a person of value. So self-care is important, and personal growth and development as a person is also wrapped up in the whole matter of minding your own business. And the last point, guys, is that you want to stay in your own energy. You want to set boundaries, guys, and you want to respect others' boundaries as well. So what are the boundaries that you have for yourself? And are you being conscious of the boundaries that others would have set as well without being offended? Like, guys, this is so very important. You have to protect your mental and your emotional space from the drama and from the toxic relationships. There's a sermon that I did a couple of weeks ago, and I spoke about the significance of ensuring that you're going through your contact list, and there are some numbers in your contact list that should be saved as do not answer. Or if you're like me, you'll just delete the number and just store in your memory that this is this person's number and you're just not going to answer. So essentially, guys, there are things in our space to distract us. There are persons that we speak to that is just a mere distraction. They would have latched themselves onto us, and all they do is drain our energy. So staying in your own lane also means that you have the responsibility to guard your energy and set those boundaries and maintain that positive and supportive environment, guys, that aligns with your goal and your values and your purpose. So guys, just to wrap up this video, I really I'm encouraging you to mind your own business in this season, right? And when we're talking about minding your own business, this final point becomes very important. It does not mean being selfish. Minding your own business does not mean neglecting your capacity and your ability to help others. It means that you're staying focused, you are building momentum, you're staying engaged, and you're keeping your eyes on the prize. And what is the prize? Our first thing that we ought to wake up in the morning and think about is the ministry that God has put inside of you. And ministry is wide. It can be the ministry at work, it can be the ministry at church, it can be the ministry with family. Guys, we have to start thinking about what is it that I'm good at, and how can I ensure that this thing that I'm doing glorifies God? Yeah. And so we want to set clear expectations, prioritize self-care and personal growth. We want to focus on our own goals and progress. We want to avoid distractions and comparisons. We want to cultivate a positive and supportive environment, and you want to stay committed to your own vision and values. Guys, let us do it in this season. Let's just get it done. Let's avoid the distraction and just get it done, right? I hope this video was of value to you. Please share it, please like it, and please subscribe to my channel, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.